Ready to go? Okay, we're going to call the meeting to order. Would you call the roll of attendees, please, ma'am?
Chairman Timaeus,
I'm here.
Board Member Beaver is absent. Board Member Hilliard is absent. Board Member Rowe,
Here.
Board Member Sorrell,
Here.
Alternate Board Member Lucas,
Here.
Alternate Board Member Jones.
Present.
Thank you.
Yeah, Steve can come on up.
Yeah, Steve, you want to come sub in for us, please, until Mr. Hilliard arrives? Thank you, I'd appreciate that. And whilst Mr. Lucas is coming up, next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from the April 4, 2024 meeting. Anybody have any comment or concerns about the minutes as they were presented to us? If none, then is there a motion to approve?
I so move to approve.
A second?
A second.
All right. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Same sign? None. Okay. So what we're going to do at this point is we're going to get everybody to stand up, raise your right hand. If you're going to speak at all today while we're in this meeting, get everybody sworn in at one time, then we'll take things as we go. Okay? So go ahead.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
All right. Let's go ahead and begin on file PZ 2024-82. Luis Alfaro is asking for a variance to minimum side yard setback at 35 Natalie Street from 5 feet to 1 foot. Could we have the staff report for that, please?
Yes, sir. Luis Alfaro is requesting a variance for the property located at 3735 Natalie Street, Section 280324B2 of the City of Beaumont Code of Ordinances Area Height Table provides a minimum side yard setback requirement of 5 feet for properties abutting other commercial zoning districts. The applicant requests the required side yard setback be reduced from 5 feet to 1 foot to allow for an addition constructed without the benefit of an approved building permit or variance to remain. We mailed 13 property owner notices, and we did receive 3 in opposition, none in favor. On the screen is the subject property outlined in red. You'll notice it is a residential home, however, it is commercially zoned. This is the site plan. It is a little deceiving. The line there is the fence line, not their property line, but in discussions with the adjacent owner, it is 1 foot. His fence was outside of his property line. There to the left of the bushes is the add-on. And this is a more direct view of that add-on. And we do have the property owner present.
And that's taken from the front of the house?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Standing on which street?
That is Natalie Street, sir.
Okay, thank you. Any questions of the witness?
Did, you said you received 3 notices of, in opposition?
Yes, sir. I can read them for you. Before I do so, I just want to say that the comments made in the opposition weren't necessarily against the request. It's more against the resident themselves.
Okay.
So if you want me to read it, I will, or?
Well, you don't have to read negative comments about personal relationships
Yeah,
between.
there is no comment regarding the actual structure.
Okay, okay. But there were 3 expressed oppositions to the variance.
It's all the same property owner. They just happen to own multiple pieces.
3 from the same property owner? Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's 1 property owner, 3 comments. Now that's necessary clarification. Okay, all right. Location of that property owner in relationship to this building is where?
It's the triangular portion to the southwest. The RCR residence.
If this were a residentially zoned instead of commercially zoned piece of property, what would the setback be?
It would also still be a minimum of 5 feet.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure of that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other questions of this witness? All right. So now we ask for anybody else that wants to speak for, against, or otherwise comment on this item that's before us. Recognize that the property owner has the burden of proof. And so we need to hear from the property owner if they're going to bear a burden of proof. Okay. If you would, tell us your name, your relationship to and your address and your relationship to the property. Go ahead.
Su nombre y su dirección a su casa.
Okay.
Speak into the microphone, and both of you speak into the microphone so we can hear, okay?
Luis Alfaro, 3735 Natalie Street, Beaumont, Texas.
All right.
3735 Natalie Street, Beaumont, Texas.
All right.
Luis Alfaro.
He lives in the house.
¿Vives en la casa?
No,
¿En esta casa?
ahorita no.
He does not live in the house currently.
Lives in a different house on Natalie Street.
¿Vives en otra casa en Natalie o
No,
otra calle?
en otra
¿Otra calle?
calle.
¿Cuál calle?
En la Hazel.
Hazel? Okay, he lives in a house on Hazel Street.
All right. So we need his name, his real address,
Okay.
and his relationship to the property stated cleanly on the record, please.
Su nombre, su dirección donde vive ahorita y su relación en esta propiedad de Natalie.
Okay.
To clarify, they're getting repair permits to occupy this one, so they're in the process of.
His applicant address is fine.
Okay.
Repito la dirección.
Sí, por favor. ¿Dónde Hazel? Sí, ¿dónde se vive?
1420 Hazel Street, Beaumont, Texas.
Okay, Luis Alfaro, 1420?
Sí.
1420 Hazel, Beaumont, Texas.
Yeah.
¿Y su conexión con esa casa?
Solamente rento ahí.
¿Renta la casa en Natalie?
En
En
la
Hazel. Okay, pero su conexión con la casa en Natalie.
Oh, es mi casa.
Es su
propiedad,
casa.
sí.
He owns the house on Natalie.
Okay.
Relation.
It's important that when you're translating, that you go one at a time and that you don't do a whole lot of back and forth and then go to the microphone and he says yes. We see that every now and then.
To be
and it
fair,
really,
this
it
is
does.
the first experience translating for someone that is not my parents, so yes.
I understand. And ordinarily, we should swear the translator too.
I already did.
Which you did. And so, yeah, but this is quasi judicial and we want to keep it pretty clean, okay?
Yes, sir. Well, he was understanding what we were asking.
I
so,
understand.
yes,
I
sir.
understand.
Okay.
All right. So now the floor is open. Tell us whatever you want to about this property.
So este tiempo es para usted. Os puede explicar lo que necesita explicarles de esta propiedad.
Take it in small pieces.
En pedacitos cortos.
¿Quiero explicar de la casa?
Sí, por favor.
Oh, es que como ese pedazo, nunca sabía que tenía que sacar permiso.
Since he's owned the house, he didn't know he had to pull the permit.
Y pues yo trabajé allí pues me cayó dijeron que tal vez la podía quitar y pues como ya le invertí quería a ver si lo podía dejar.
Okay, so when he was working on it, he didn't know he had to have the permit, and then as he was continuing to work on it is when he received the notice that he had to either remove the addition, remove the work, or come and request the permission to keep it there.
Okay. Anything else?
Pero sí, pues
¿Es todo?
no, pues ya nomás lo único que con el que conté fue con el vecino de al lado.
Okay, so the only communication he had was with the next door neighbor. So that's the only other one that he had spoken with, the only other person.
Okay. And what's the significance of that communication?
¿Qué significa su conversación con el vecino?
Solamente le pedí había problema si yo hacía algo allí pegado a la cerca.
Oh, okay.
Que él no le molestara y pues él dijo que no.
Okay. He asked them if it was okay, if he was gonna have, if the neighbor was gonna have a problem with him building that add-on so close to the fence line, and the neighbor said that he had no problem with it.
Okay. Anything else he wants to tell us?
That's all.
Okay. From where you're from, don't they have an obras publicus that requires permitting?
Está preguntando si donde ustedes no tienen necesidad de permisos para construir algo.
Estoy preguntando
Sí, eso es lo que pregunto.
cómo no entendí.
¿De dónde eres usted?
¿Yo de dónde soy? ¿De dónde soy?
Sí.
México.
Okay. He's from Mexico, so he was trying to understand the question about permits.
In Mexico, they require permits for building. They have an office there called.
Chairman, that's an
obras
unfair
publicus.
question for the applicant. So I don't want it to go too far past where we are in this setting.
Well, if he claims ignorance of the need for a permit, the
I think he
question
was
is
claiming
whether
that
they require permits.
The
where he's
understanding of
from.
our permitting process versus how it's done in Mexico is a little different.
Okay.
Whether it is or not, I want to know whether he has awareness that most governments require permits for building.
Lo que está preguntando, si sabías que en México, si quieres construir algo, necesitas sacar permisos para construir. Not in his part of Mexico, he doesn't.
Where,
I'm sorry.
where was the washing machine before you built the laundry room?
¿Dónde tenía la lavadora antes que pusiste ese cuarto?
casa?
En esa casa.
No tenía.
It didn't have a laundry room.
Por eso yo lo hice.
That's why he built it.
Okay.
So, Molly, it is complete, I mean, it is finished, it's 100%.
¿Ya está acabado? Ya
Sí.
lo terminó, está todo acabado.
Tiene todo.
Ya tiene todo.
Sí.
It's finished, it has everything.
Any other questions of the witness?
How long ago was it built?
¿Cuándo lo construiste? Este cuarto.
Sí, el cuarto.
About half a year.
Any other questions of the witness? Anything else the witness wants to talk to us about? We've seen that and we've seen the translation.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Anything else from anybody? Any questions from anybody? Any other statement by the witness?
No tiene más que explicarles.
Solamente de.
That's all. Said no, he was just here to talk about that room, that's all.
Okay. Is there anybody else, you can step back. Is there anybody else who wants to speak for, against, or otherwise make a comment on this request for a variance? I ask him, you can step,
Oh, so we're done?
unless somebody else needs to come up and speak Spanish, yes.
Oh, ya acabamos.
Sí.
Ya, sí.
Ok, gracias.
And the question was asked, I'll ask again, is there anyone else who wants to speak for, against, or otherwise make a comment on PZ 2024-82? Hearing none, seeing none. Let's step back and have a conversation about deliberating this. Comments?
Already done.
You good? All right, okay. So you want to go back on the record and make a motion? Okay, go ahead.
I make a motion that we approve file PZ 2024.
A second motion.
I know you like them wordier, brother, I can't.
That's okay, that's okay. Would you call the roll for a vote, please, ma'am?
Chairman Tamayo?
I'm for it.
Board Member Rowe?
For.
Board Member Sorrell?
For it.
Alternate Board Member Jones,
For it?
alternate Board Member Lucas.
For it.
Thank you.
Chairman, can Molly at least tell them? They may not have.
Oh, yeah.
understood anything that we said.
No, that's fine. Good. Yeah, and you'll need to come back, you'll need to talk to them about 10 days from now and clean it up, okay? And she can explain that.
Yeah, that's what she's gonna do.
All right,
That's what Elena was telling her.
all right. Good deal. Let's pick up then PZ 2024-87. Thomas Schroeder's requesting a variance, setback variance at 3450 Pond Circle from 5 feet to 3 feet 5 inches for the building of a swimming pool. Could we have the staff report on that one, please, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Thomas Schroeder is requesting a variance for the property located at 3450 Pond Circle, Section 2804008-3B of the City of Beaumont's Code of Ordinances states that a pool may be located anywhere within the premises except in a required front yard, provided that the pool shall not be located closer than 5 feet to the property line of the property of which located. The applicant is requesting that the required setback be reduced from 5 feet to 3 feet 5 inches. We did mail out 33 property owner notices. We received 1 in favor and 1 in opposition. On your screen, you'll see the subject property outlined in red. To the south of that, immediately beside this property, is what's called common area in these PUD developments. It's green space area that's not platted or sold to be developed. It's just green area within the subdivision. The site plan is the proposed pool. Again, the pool being abutted to that common area on the right side of the plan. This is the structure as it's in construction, the one on the left. And then here is from the common area, a view of where the pool would be. There would be a fence required, but the pool would be located outside of those glass doors, windows on the bottom floor.
The structure is the house?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Questions to the witness?
Can you go back one more?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So the pool here would be located to the left, which that light there is essentially about the edge of the property line, and to the left of that light is where the common area begins.
Okay.
So sorry.
Any other questions?
The letter, the one that you did get in opposition?
Yes, 1 in favor with no comment and 1 in opposition that stated over time, the common area will be utilized and losing that area is significant. I believe they thought the pool would be encroaching within that. It is not, it's within the property, just closer to the line than permitted.
Okay. I think that was my concern also.
There's a required fence too, isn't there? Required fence or some type of,
Yes, sir. Pools are required to have a 6-foot solid wood or masonry fence.
okay. Any other questions to the witness? All right. Hearing none, who wants to speak in favor of this request? Yes, sir, please. Please do. Tell us your name, your current address, and your relationship to the property, and then whatever you want to tell us about this.
Okay, my name is Thomas Schroeder. I've been here about 32 years in Beaumont. I live on 4630 Collier Street, apartment 518. So I've been living in apartments all the time. It was just my first house. And basically I wanted to build a pool because I swim every day, a lap pool with a house. So once everything was done, I found out that the pool needed to be 5 feet away from the property line. But basically I was told over there, like everybody else, well, it's a green space. So we can just build it right where the wall is, and we're gonna have a big masonry 8-inch wide wall, 8 feet high. So nobody will see the pool. Notice there is a pool. And I could move it close to the house, but then right now I'm already within 5 feet from the house. at certain edges. So if I have 3.5 feet on the other side to the wall, I can put a pool in. It would be nice to have a 10-foot wide. I already moved it to like 8 feet, but once you go below 8 feet, you have turbulences and it doesn't work as a lap pool anymore. So, I mean, it's really nobody should be affected by this because of the common area, and nobody will even see there's a pool inside unless you visit me inside the wall.
Okay.
I mean, the people over there, actually, I got a letter of variance already for this endeavor, but
You're talking about from the,
from the
Neighborhood
association
association.
at the Crescent on Walden. So I don't know if there was any confusion about when they said I encroach the common area, because they would always see a wall. And if the pool behind the wall is 3.5 versus 5 feet,
I understand.
it's not a big difference.
Are you, and this is the one question that concerns me is when you say 3 feet 5 inches, that's very precise. And
Well,
getting a pool company to dig a hole that's very precise is very difficult.
okay,
Wouldn't you prefer to have just a little bit of margin of error somewhere in there?
well, okay. I have my own CAD software. I got the stuff from the architects. I had the site plan, so I just put in there, move the pool, and that's basically what we needed. So I'm just trying to be as honest as possible. I don't know if it's an inch more, an inch less once
No,
they
no,
go.
no, no. I'm not questioning your CAD or any of the drawings.
Yeah.
All I'm questioning is the capability of the person with the excavator to make a good hole that's only,
I hope he's good enough. It's Bob Schwarzlow's pool company, so.
well, okay.
And we use tile outside it has exact dimensions, so hopefully that will work.
Okay, good enough.
How big a pool is this?
It's
8
gonna
feet
be.
wide by what?
It's 8 feet wide and close to 50 foot long to be a lap pool. The length is not a problem. The width is the problem, you know, because I'm getting a little closer to to my wall.
I was gonna say, that so that 1.5 feet, basically, we're looking at a 1.5 feet.
Right.
You can't take it off the 5-foot side between the corner of the house and the pool? And does a 1.5 feet really affect?
The width of the pool, yes, it should be 8 to absolute minimum. 10 would be preferred. So I'm already going to 8. And the reason is because I thought, you know, I'm only 6 foot wide this way.
Yeah.
But as soon as you swim, you create turbulences. So if you read it up, then they say it actually doesn't work because the water always comes back in.
Mr. Rowe, the 5-foot requirement from the home comes from the building codes department. The water's at the pool edge from building codes must be, yes, sir.
Probably a foundational stability
Yeah,
problem.
probably a structure.
Yeah.
I mean, I would even argue that if this pool is allowed to be 5 feet from my home and my property, even if there were, I don't know, in 100 years, another house, that's 5 feet away from my house, my pool will be more than 5 feet away from that house, right? It will be 5 feet plus the extra 3.5. So I don't think there should be any concern about creating a problem for another homeowner, although there is none right now. It's a common area. And I think it
Yeah,
There won't be one.
stays
won't
that
be
way.
anyone. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's inevitable.
And did I read, Elena, did I read somewhere again?
Yeah, solid masonry, 8 feet high, and we have under reams, just to make sure it doesn't move.
Yeah.
Serious wall.
Chairman, if I may
Yeah, go ahead.
clarify your question
Yeah.
about the added extra, I guess, like space.
Yeah,
Instead of requesting 3.5, I would just recommend it.
I'd run it, you know, I'd round it to 3 and be safer.
Safe with it. Yes, that's what I was thinking also.
Yeah,
because they can't dig a perfect hole.
it just won't happen.
Yeah.
All right, any other questions to witness? All right. Anything else you want to tell us before you sit back?
No, just saying,
Okay,
it
good
could
enough
be
then.
3.5. I mean, if it's a little less and the pool company measures wrong, then hopefully that's still okay.
No,
Yeah.
what he's talking about is saying 3 feet instead of 3 feet 5 inches. And
Oh,
that way
that'd
you've
be
got 5
perfectly
inches
fine,
extra
yes.
to foul up. All right, is there anybody else that wants to speak for or against, unless, you want to tell us something else? All right, then is there anybody else that wants to speak for or against or otherwise make a comment about this proposal request for variance? Hearing none, then, you want to pull up a chair and let us have a conversation?
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we need much of a conversation? All right, you're all ready to make a motion?
Make a motion, we approve it.
And you're gonna approve it at 5 to 3 or 5 to 5?
Give it 3.
All right, all right. So the motion from Mr. Lucas is that the required setback variance be reduced from 5 feet to 3 feet to allow the building of a pool along the property boundary that borders a common area. Is there a second?
I second.
Okay. Would you call roll for a vote, please, ma'am?
Chairman Tamayo?
I'm for it.
Chairman Rowe? I'm sorry. Board Member Rowe?
Or.
Board Member Sorrell?
For it.
Alternate Board Member Jones?
For it.
Alternate Board Member Lucas?
Support.
Okay, thank you very much. There was one other item just for discussion, not for any action, that was dropped in commentary about, that I saw somewhere in an email about amending the,
That's not a posted item, Chairman.
That'll be on the June agenda.
okay, all right. Be aware, look for that, read it over and compare to what you have, and then we'll take it up then. It's not an item we're gonna act on anyway, it's simply an informational item. All right, thank you.
Adjourned.
You should be straight now, right? Get home. Yeah, I know.